good evening sa inyong lahat and welcome to SNJ's RealTalk. I will be your host for tonight, Thea, and we have Pastor John as our featured guest for tonight. So just a quick recap of what we have discussed from last week's episode. We discussed already the issues that are occurring or nag-occur siya in a relationship status. And we divided the categories to magjowa or mag-boyfriend or mag-girlfriend, live-in partner, and married couples. So last week, the two arguments or the two issues we discussed is money and responsibilities. So Pastor John, before we continue our discussion for this segment, meron ka po bang opening remarks for our audience for tonight?
Good evening, everyone. I hope you were able to learn a lot from the last segment that we had, wherein we talked about, key elements in terms of relationships. And today, we're going to talk about another two key elements of relationship, and we're going to categorize them into three sections again, as Thea has said. So I would like to encourage everyone to have an open mind, of course, because we are coming from the perspective of experience. We are coming from the perspective of care and concern. Doon sa mga may relationships, syempre, sometimes potentially we will not be able to agree, but let's agree to disagree in those areas so that we will have a good discussion point. What we intend to do, we are not intending to offend anyone. We are just presenting an option in terms of what you are currently experiencing right now, which we hope will work for you and your girlfriend or boyfriend, your partner, or your spouse. So good evening once again, and I hope you tune in and you fully engage and understand. So huwag niyo kakalimutan, you can always pop a question in the comment area. Place your comment, place any clarifications if you need to. And of course, we hope that we will be receiving questions that we may discuss in the next segment.
Thank you so much, Pastor John, for your opening remarks para sa ating viewers ngayong gabi. So sit back and relax, viewers, and makinig lang tayo na mabuti sa mga kwento at payo ni Pastor John for tonight. So, Papi, una natin pag-uusapan ay yung issue ng arguments. So, yung order natin last week was from magjowa, mag-live-in, and married couple. So, I am assuming we're following that same order, di ba?
Yes.
Okay, Papi. Take it away.
So remember, ang arguments, it's connotated as something negative, something that will lead to a fight, something that will lead to misunderstanding. Actually, ang argument, kung i-define natin siya essentially the way it should be defined, it's very important, it's very essential because there are two aspects to every coin, ika nga, and there's angles to every detail. Kaya importante talaga ang argument that will lead to something that is constructive. Syempre, kailangan natin ng tamang attitude when we go through an argument and we understand what the outcome of the argument will lead to. Siyempre, resolution parati. Hindi yung magbabanggaan, magtatampuhan, hindi mag-uusap ng 3 linggo, 2 buwan, di ba? Magkatabi pero hindi magkatabi, di ba? Nagingit-ngitan sa kama, lalo na yung mga nasa live-in relationships or nasa marriage, di ba? In terms of that type of dynamic. So, importante lang na mabigyan ko kayo ng emphasis na ang arguments, it's actually productive kapag positive yung approach. Okay? So, ang unang dapat natin ihinto, we should stop arguing to win. Arguing to prove a point. Arguing so that we will come out as the dominant force in the discussion. Arguing so that we may get our way. Remember, hindi pag-ibig yung gusto mo na parating ikaw yung masusunod. Diba? Hindi siya yung agape love na pinag-uusapan natin. Potentially, it's at the level of eros. So, yun ang pinaka-importante sa lahat ng categories. We should stop doing that. Yung motive for having an argument. So, sa magjowa, sa mag-live-in relationship, at syempre sa mag-asawa na. Okay? So that's very, very important you stop doing that. So what we need to start is to have arguments that will lead to a positive outcome. Yung meron siyang resolution sa dulo. Hindi kayo magtatampuhan, hindi kayo magingit-ngitan. So it's actually a vital discussion to discuss difficult conversations. Okay? And it can be a spectrum of so many things. Yung pwedeng mababaw na mabaho yung hininga ng boyfriend o girlfriend mo na kailangan mo sabihin sa kanya in a non-argumentative manner. Okay? So, kailangan may positive resolution, may aim, may outcome na expected that will benefit both parties. Hindi yung para mangibabaw ang isa. So again, arguments are essential not to prove a point, but it is essential to enrich the relationship. Okay? So katulad, let's say sa mag-live-in relationship, argument about the managing your resources, paggamit ng kuryente, 'di ba? Yung kailangan pinapatay yung ilaw pag wala ng tao, yung TV hindi hinahayaan bukas hangga't sa makatulog ka, 'di ba? Yung aircon na iwan mong bukas, sa pag-alis mo ng bahay, ikaw yung the last person to come out. And syempre, ano yun? Bills, kuryente, 'di ba? Sa mag-asawa, maybe as small as the issue of snoring, na maaring sleep apnea na pala, it's actually something physical na kailangan na siya magpa-check up, o di kaya, let's say, the way we spend our time, either we're wasting it or we are spending it outside the family for those who have children and naando sa na marriage in terms of relationship. So, napakaganda na meron kang outcome. Alright? So, it's very important also kung hindi kayong verbal, hindi kayong vocal individual, you can write it down as a letter to your boyfriend or girlfriend, to your live-in partner, or to your spouse. Or, if you want to, you write it down and read through it during the course of the conversation and clarify matters. So, in between clarification, napaka-importante, huwag niyo kakalimutan to. Be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to become angry. Ulitin ko. Be quick to listen, slow to speak, slow to become angry. When we say listen, active listening siya. Talagang iniintindi mo yung context noong conversation. Okay, hindi pa tapos yung boyfriend mo, girlfriend mo, hihirit ka na, papasok ka na kasi nanggigigil ka na, hindi ka na makatiis. Or remember, yung sagot mo, it's defensive, not constructive, insulting, not uplifting. So that's very, very important in terms of what we need to start doing with regards to arguments. Now, ano ba yung dapat natin continue? We have to continue respecting, loving, and caring. So, syempre, yung motive ng argument, again, positive outcome for the enrichment of the relationship. Mapa boyfriend, girlfriend, mapa live-in partner, o mapa married couple. So, those are very important aspects of what an argument can do to uplift the relationship, to enliven the relationship. Halimbawa, in terms of, yung love language mo, pwede niyo pag-usapan kasi yun. Love languages are very, very important to establish kasi most of the time, kapag hindi tayo pang-unawa sa ating partner, sa ating jowa, sa ating asawa, we do things na we like doing for them. Hindi yung we do things that they like, okay, that we do for them. So we have to give to the aspect of their liking. Kung hindi natin alam, pwede naman magtanong. Hindi naman dapat hulaan, di ba? So it's very important na quality time ba bibigay mo? Gift ba? Service ba? Or words of affirmation. Halimbawa, yung jowa mo, partner mo, spouse mo, gusto niya pala words of affirmation, ibigay ka ng bigay ng gift. Diba? Binavalue naman yung gift, pero ang gusto pala niya, sabihin mo sa kanya, uy, grabe ka, I mean, thank you for loving me, you are an awesome spouse, you are an awesome jowa, you are an awesome partner, Thank you so much for your life, for taking care of me. So, mas tama yung pagbibigay natin. So, those are the arguments that we can actually enter into so that we may better understand our position in the relationship.
Thank you so much, Pastor John, for relying yung mga dapat ihinto, simulan at i-continue, no? I do have one question, so I had to hear everything first before I ask this. So, I think, and this is my opinion, delikado, di ba, kapag mag-partner, mag-jowa o mag-asawa ay hindi nag-argue or walang arguments. Is that supposed to be something na alarming or meron ba silang gawin? Bakit kaya sa tingin mo may couples minsan na ayaw nila mag-argue for the sake na hindi mag-argue? What do you think about those things?
Oh, that's very dangerous. Ibig sabihin, there is no point of uplifting or improving. Kasi tahimik lang sila. It doesn't mean na tahimik yung both sides. It's a good relationship. Relationships that is built on robust, honest, transparent communication and discussion, potentially called an argument, ay nagdadala ng color doon sa relationship. Nagdadala ng aspect of understanding or identifying blind spots mo. 'Di ba? Akala mo magaling ka pumorma, baduy ka pala. 'Di ba? Akala mo tama yung ginagawa mo, mali pala. Akala mo nakakatawa ka, hindi, nakakabwisit ka pala. So those forms of clarifications, comments, and discussion are very important because having difficult conversations, potentially deemed as arguments, is essential para maging maganda yung relationship at lalong maging stronger. Kasi you are able to support each other.
So there you have it, viewers. So for those who are wondering kung healthy ba na hindi mag-argue, so you got your answer. Delikado yan kapag walang passionate discussion or arguments. Yung mag-jowa, yung mag-live-in, or yung mag-spouse or married couple. So it is important na we do not argue dahil nga gusto lang natin mag-argue for the sake of it. Pero this happens most of the time. I mean, it's natural. Kaya huwag kayong matatakot kapag dumating sa point na both of you might not agree on something, pero makapag-compromise naman kayo. Kaya katulad sa sabi ni Pastor John, ang mga viewers po natin, it is very important na we argue not to win, but to, come to a decision na pares yung pagkakasunduan. Yun naman ang pinaka-point ng argument. So thank you so much for that, Pastor John.
Dagdag ko lang, no? It enriches, enlivens, uplifts the relationship. So that's very, very important. So go ahead, Thea.
Ayan. Thank you so much, Pastor John. So, I don't have any further questions for arguments. So we'll now move on to religion. I'm sure maraming viewers may be curious about this aspect kasi syempre, maybe there are couples right now na maybe in a relationship pero they have a different view about their spirituality or yung kung saan sila involved na religion. So, Papi, can you discuss further bakit kaya maaaring maging issue ito sa mga in a relationship?
Alam naman natin that there's supposed to be unconditional love sa relationship, and that's very, very important. What we want to actually establish in the beginning of the relationship, magde-decide dapat yung couple, ano bang religion yung kanilang pagkakasunduan para mawala yung conflict. Kasi it's very important for you to realize at the beginning of that relationship, yung snapshot of time na yon, mag-decide kayo para hindi kayo magbabanggaan. Kasi it's a belief system. And belief systems commonly causes friction na unresolved. Especially kapag yung magjowa, naging mag-asawa, nagkaroon ng anak, or yung live-in relationship, nagkaroon ng anak, saan nyo ipupwesto yung bata? Anong religion yung pagkakasunduan nyo? Kaya it's very important for us to realize that para sa tatlong categories natin, what we need to start doing is to make that decision at that snapshot in time, okay? Kung anong religion yung inyong susundan. Okay? So, regardless kung anong religion, you must have a compromise. Kasi mag-asawa kayo, magjowa kayo, you are partners, live in. So, you have to have that point of understanding. So, pwede pa rin naman mag-change, di ba? So, let's say, 3 months into the relationship, 8 months into the relationship, 20 years into the relationship, nag-shift ngayon kayo ng decision. Okay, let's move on towards this religion. So it's a decision made in conjunction, in agreement ng both parties. That is what you need to start to establish right now. Okay? Especially kung you know that the religion issue is critical.
Actually, pa, pinag-agree mo nga po ako sa sinabi mo na, lalo na sa mga mag-live-in and mag-married dito na may anak na. So, I do have one teacher noon nung high school ako. I don't know if they have kids na, pero kasal sila eh. Tapos alam ko, itong teacher ko, they're both teachers eh. Tapos they became both my teachers nung high school ako. So, yung teacher ko na ito, involved siya sa Jehovah. Tapos yung isa naman INC. So, I think they have definitely they have different beliefs and doctrines. So parang hirap kasi pag tuwing parang Sabbath day nila or yung day ng gathering ng mga ng mga tao, hindi sila magkasama. Yun, parang nalulungkot lang ako doon para sa dalawang teachers ko na yun na bakit kaya ba sila ng religion na parang naisip ko nga kung at some point kaya nagkakaintindihan kasi sa aspect na yun. Pero ayun, yun lang naman isa sa mga na-observe ko. Kaya nag-agree lang po ako talaga na if you are going to engage in a relationship, dapat talaga magkaroon kayo ng decision sa inyong dalawa na dapat mag-decide kayo anong religion i-join niyo. Parang hirap wag magkahiwalay kayo, di ba?
Yeah, that's very true kasi meron akong mga kamag-anak, mga pinsan ko, different religions. So kung sino yung mas religious, dun, siyempre yung mas religious, mas mag-adhere doon sa religious traditions nila, di ba? Yung Sabbath day, whatever na mga na mga celebration. So kung sino yung mas religious sa pinsan ko, sila yung nagdadala sa bata. So kung sino yung mas passive or non-practicing, hindi siya nag-i-involve. So, naiiwan siya sa bahay most of the time. Or minsan, nag-aabang siya rin sa labas ng simbahan. Weird, di ba? So, na-experience ko rin yan among my relatives. So, what do we need to stop doon sa tatlong categories with regards to religion? Na hindi tayo mag-compromise. Yung pagpipilitan natin yung gusto natin. That's absolutely wrong. So, we need to stop trying to dominate the discussion. There should be a good compromise. Okay? So it's not an issue of who gets to win or who gets the edge. It's an issue of trying to normalize the relationship. So you have to stop doing that. Okay? Well, syempre, once you establish yung tinuro ko sa inyo kanina, what you need to start doing, and that is to have that compromise and agreement kung anong religion yung susundin, you have to continue respecting that covenant, that contract, that agreement. Okay? So, kung ang agreement nyo maging passive ka, active siya ron sa kanyang belief system, o ang agreement nyo, let's say, yung active spouse mo, sasaba ka sa kanya, yung active jowa mo, o yung active partner mo, kasama ka sa kanya, then you have to continue adhering to the agreement. Until that time na maaring magkaroon kayo ng changes in belief system pagdating sa compromises. Yung nga, katulad ng sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina, along the way in the relationship, you might want to decide to have a different view, go towards the other partner's religion, the other spouse's religion, the other jowa's religion, or potentially, entirely, you might start to attend, a new religion. Na na-convince kayo together, di ba? Na, oy, teka, yung religion mo, my spouse, yung religion ko, it's not working. I think this is going to work. So, mag-decide tayo, let's pursue this. Okay? So, sa relationship kasi, you have to be very, very flexible. You have to have that aspect of buffer in terms of space to change, because change is it's everywhere, di ba? I'm not saying you change because faddish siya. I'm not saying you change because you just want to change. I'm saying you change because it's going to be best for your relationship sa jowa mo, sa live-in partner mo, o sa iyong spouse.
Thank you so much para doon, Pastor Jan, sa advice mo about religion. So, it's one of the things na most couples are embarrassed to talk about, or siguro parang iniiwasan nila itong topic na ito eh. Mas mahirap ito kapag umabot na sila sa married stage. Kasi talaga documented na married na kayo eh. In a union na kayo. So kung hindi kayo united in a religion or in a spiritual gathering, quote and quote, ang hirap nun, lalo na sa married couple. Magjowa siguro pwedeng maging flexible. Kasi di pa naman sila talaga magkasama per se. So, yun. So, viewers, go ahead and comment if you have any clarifications or kung meron kayong mga gustong i-share na story nyo or na makakakilala about what you found out about in terms na issues sa religion. So, napakamahalaga na, kung kayo magka-partner kayo, mag-jowa or mag-married, lahat talaga ng aspect importante na nagkakasundo pala kayo. Hindi pwedeng naiiwan yung isa, hindi pwede 80% nagkakasundo kayo. Dapat 100% at the very least nagkakasundo kayo. Kasi that's how I observed yung discussion namin ni Pastor Jam for the last couple of weeks with the series ng Relasyon, Hindi Kunsumisyon. For being in a relationship is actually a big responsibility. Hindi ka lang dapat papasok sa relationship for the sake na gusto mo ng pag-ibig, gusto mo ng partner, ayaw mo mag-isa. So, it compromises a lot of things sa buhay mo. And I guess it brings changes sa individual. Kasi nga, dalawa na kayo this time, hindi naman kayo nag-iisa. So, Pastor John, that actually concludes our discussion for SNJ's Real Talk. Do you have any closing remarks or siguro further advice that you would want to give to our audience for tonight?
So, it may be a compromise wherein both parties might decide to become atheists or agnostics. So it's fine, basta for as long as you agree. I would just like to provide this input because this is my faith. So I hope you give time. It's really best when you have that relationship with Jesus as Lord and Savior rather than having a religion that you need to follow. That relationship kasi has changed me, has changed a lot of my friends, and I saw yung flourishing relationship nila when they put Christ in the center of their marriage. So yung mga kaibigan ko na magjowa, they of course all decided to become married couples because of their faith. And faith is essential. And I also saw how they were able to raise their kids kasi syempre mga kaidaran ko, most of us, we have our own kids. I'm not pushing this to your throat. I am saying this as a testimony. So forgive me if it offends you, but let me share this very important aspect ng buhay namin because it has worked. And because Jesus is an essential part of my family, I know that if we will be serious about our relationships, we will put a premium doon sa investment ng time natin with our spouses. Okay? We will definitely put in mind yung beauty of that union wherein Jesus is the centerpiece. Also, never forget, according to statistics, those who are in a relationship, especially mga spouses, they are actually richer than those who are single. They are actually more mature. They live longer. Alam niyo ba yun? So, married couples live longer than those who are single. Or I think as well, married couples last longer in terms of health versus I think yung mga live-in partners. So there is that absolute beauty of having that union made in the eyes of God. So that's my tidbits for you all, and I hope you put into heart. And I encourage you, do your own research so that you may understand the beauty of having Christ as Lord and Savior and the centerpiece of your relationships. Para hindi ka masyado makonsuming.
Thank you so much, Pastor John, for your sharing about your faith. No, actually, sa SNJ, since Real Talk is actually one of our weekly segments at church namin, I have witnessed a lot of married couples na alam mong si Christ yung center ng relationship nila. Iba talaga yung dynamics. Kung titignan ko sa isang kung i-compare ko I'm not creating any attack or arguments about this, pero yung nakita ko kasing yung observation ko sa couples na center si Christ versus sa hindi center si Christ, there's this some point na alam mo there's a difference mahal nila isa't isa, pero iba yung level or iba yung atmosphere. I can't really put it into words ano yung pinaka distinguishing factor bakit parang mas ang ganda tignan nung isang couple na ginawa si Jesus Christ as yung center. But then again, viewers, this is just our sharing. We're not forcing it into you guys. Pero if you are interested and curious kayo, pwede nyo kami i-message naman sa SNJ PH. And we actually have our Sunday service para sa SNJ page namin lang every 10 a.m. So, since I already discussed yung schedule ng Sunday service namin, let me just introduce to you guys yung aming weekly segment schedule. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m., we have our Youth TV designed para sa mga bata at mga estudyante. We have every Thursday at 8 p.m. SNJ Journey. This segment is actually specialized for young professionals who are now working, mga single o may jowa. And lastly, we have our SNJ RealTalk Friday at 8 p.m. And we're still currently ongoing with the series ng Relasyon, hindi Kunsumisyon. So, Pastor John, muli, maraming salamat for sharing your thoughts tonight about the issue sa mga mag-couple, sa arguments, and sa religion. For next week's episode, we're gonna discuss one last issue, which is about sexual intimacy. Ayan. So, abangan mga viewers, and if you like this video, give us a like, subscribe to our page, and paki-share and tag your friends for them to know this segment and information na nanggaling sa amin. So, thank you so much for tonight, and God bless us all. Bye for now.